Welcome to another episode of
The Ray and F Show.
So, Nat, man, let's show him the book, man.
Oh man, well,
I'm excited. So let's and let's. I hit the button twice. Don't worry about it. You're here with us. The book.
we just
So,
need to make sure you know where you're at.
so obviously, Alex, welcome back to the program.
Thank
you.
Damn, that suit
I
was
appreciate
nice.
having you. That's a great suit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful suit, man.
Did you buy that suit at the vault?
I wish.
Is that
It will be next year. It will
That
be-
is Stefano.
It will be
Richie?
next year.
That's the Stefano Richie, isn't it?
I wish.
Oh my god! So that's exactly where we were at the vault, guys. We were at the vault, and we got the book, man. This book is. What would you say this book was worth? If you had to put it into ROI, what do you think? What would you give that book? What price would you give that book?
infinite ROI.
Infinite
There's no
ROI?
number I would put on that.
All right. What about you? What about you, Alex?
I will put at least 100K, 100,000.
100,000.
Yeah, it's
Like,
worth
that's
that
a low
much.
ball.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you tell me a
Yeah,
number.
I
I'm
don't think.
straight
I
up.
don't think Patrick would.
Appreciate that.
I definitely don't think.
Let's ask the people on the other side of the camera. What would you say is worth, Josh?
Well, I can't put a price on it. That's how valuable it is.
Yeah.
Josh says he can't put a price
I'm
on
the
it.
same way. I'm the same way with Josh, man. I got the Valuetainment shirt on. Super happy. Had an amazing time. But I wanted to ask you. I've been to the vault. This is my second vault. This is your first one.
Mhm.
What did you think?
Me or
Yeah, you.
me? Honestly, I was taken away from it. It was amazing. It was a lot more disciplined than I thought it was gonna be. It was very heavily structured. You knew exactly what you were getting, and somehow you were still surprised by every single section that he went over. And he went over every section so thoroughly, it made it feel like in the short amount of time that he had with us, it was almost ingrained information at that point.
Now you've been to other conferences, right? What would you say was your biggest takeaway from this conference compared to other conferences?
I was actually talking to my girlfriend about this. The number one thing I took away from this particular conference is that it wasn't a pitch fest. It wasn't 3 days of him trying to sell us his platform, his consulting. None of that was happening. At the end of the day, he didn't even try to sell us anything.
Correct.
The only thing that got sold was the shirt.
Yeah.
And maybe the book bag, but he didn't try to market the book bag to us. It was just
it's a pretty dope bag.
Yeah.
So everybody, you had people that got it for free and you had people that bought it. So
whoa, nobody got it for free.
Well, yeah.
What?
Nobody got it for free.
Some people got the app thing. Remember, they downloaded.
Oh,
the app,
yeah.
They did the raffle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the only probably. I think they gave one away that way.
It was so from the app, it was you get a ticket. I think for next year.
Executive
It's
ticket.
like-
An
it's
executive
like
ticket.
Executive
It
ticket.
was an executive
Second
ticket.
place
Second
was
place was
$500.
$500
$500
at the
The merch
Valuetainment merch
Valid
store.
merch store.
And I don't know
Which
what the
you can
third
get 2
ticket
bags
was.
for that. 2 bags for the merch store. So
Yeah.
that's
So-
pretty cool. What about you, Alex? This was your first vote, right?
You know what? I am really impressed. I'm still impressed. And the thing is that everything was meticulous, think through. So everything was well done. I mean, all this effort for those people. I mean, I know there been even the staff. Everybody was happy. Everybody was into
Energized.
energized. It was like a family environment. They make you feel like you are important.
Mhm.
It was all about the customer.
And not only that, they delivered pretty much on their promise. So when I bought my ticket, obviously, I bought 3 executive tickets, but they accidentally put my daughter as a general.
Mhm.
So I went to the customer help desk and they didn't give me no ifs, no buts, no like the customer service was like, no, we know. And then I remember calling Mario. Shout out to Mario Aguilar. You're a stud, amazing. You are probably the epitome of the customer service that they have. And literally within seconds, I was standing at the desk. They did everything. They gave my daughter her card. But then Mario, to make sure it got done correctly and everything was going on, sent somebody with a photo of me on his phone and found me and said, and my daughter will tell you this, Mariana will tell you this. She's like, I was looking for you. He goes, I should be a detective. Because with all these people here, over 6,000 people, guys, with all these people here, I found you. And I'm like, man, no, thank you. Are you taken care of? Yeah, I'm taken care of. The gentleman already switched it out.
Yeah.
We got the pass. We had our photographer there.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah,
gonna get some
yeah.
amazing videos out to you guys out there. But it was an amazing event. So my question to you guys is, tell me a little bit more. Like, what did you love about the event? What made the event different from other outside of being a pitch fest? What about the event was really insightful to you? What did they do that was different from
So,
other events?
so I already told you who my favorite speaker was. I know we're gonna probably go over it later in the video, but the second time Ellsworth hit the stage, I was awake. He went over the most actionable parts of it, right?
You were sick, right? You were
I was
at the
sick.
last day, yeah.
Yeah. So when he got there, I was sick. I had a fever. I had a headache, and I stayed throughout the whole
You did
thing.
Jacoby. You did
Yeah,
Jacoby.
exactly. I pulled through. Flu game, right?
Yeah.
So when Tom hit the stage, I was there. I was taking notes, and he was literally showing you how to structure a pitch deck, what's important information, how to do the setup before you even get to the pitch deck, so people know what you're about to deliver, and that's invaluable.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think anybody realized how valuable that information was. I don't. I think that people, when you're in different walks of life and you're not at that level, um, and you're not paying attention to what the people at that level are doing, that thing flew right by you. But I think he was the most valuable. Besides, now my favorite was obviously someone else. Obviously, my favorite was Will Guidara.
Will Guidara.
And he was amazing. Our reasonable hospitality, but besides Will and Pat, I mean, Ellsworth he brought the pain. He brought the fire. I thought that the things he was saying and what he was doing was 100%. Probably one of because Will Guidara gave us information on the customer experience, but when it came to the ins and outs of business, uh, Tom is where it was at, man. Shout out to Tom Ellsworth, man. He's an amazing individual. So,
But before we go any further, kind of, can we talk about like what type of people was at the ball?
so first of all, there was over 100 countries represented at the vault. So there was people from around
That's
the world.
insane because last year I was actually watching a follow-up video from last year,
It's 50.
and it was only 50 people represented at the vault.
Yeah, it's crazy to have 50 countries represented and then jump 100% to 100 countries represented. I think that was phenomenal. Another thing that I thought was phenomenal is about, because you asked about the people that were there. It's not about just the people that were there from all different types, walks of life in all different countries. It's the way that they receive you. The community itself is a welcoming community, right? It doesn't matter if you make 100 million or you make 100,000 or 50,000. You're part of that community. You're there. They treat you as so. They don't look at you like they're gonna look down at you because you
You
do this
general
do
or
that.
you CEO.
General,
But
or
what
platinum,
he
or
told, I
founder.
mean, at the speech was, these people are trained to be like that. I mean, they really are trained. So
So something that I don't think well, you might have caught on to it because you knew some of the people there. A lot of the people who had staff on was actually part of Patrick's like personal team,
Yeah,
like from his other companies.
Yeah.
So they already knew, they were on top of it. Like,
well, so Pat was explaining in one of the meetings that in one of the shows that you just had, he was explaining that he had Mario called him early, like around 8:15, and was like, Pat, it's like only like 1,000 people here. And Pat was like, dude, Mario, this is not a PHP event. Don't worry. People will show up. Obviously, there was traffic, obviously, but the place got packed
yep.
to the rim. And usually, and they were talking about this, usually they take chairs out of an event, 100, 200 chairs out of an event. In this event, they had to put more chairs because people were standing up. So that part lets you know that the community is growing. I mean, they said it's growing every year, and it's real hard because this type of event, business conferences, are actually shrinking.
Yep.
He was talking about they're shrinking, but I could tell you, like, my key points in regards to why this event is continuing to grow is because outside of not being a pitch fest, it is actually a true to life business conference. You go there and you learn the principles of being a number one and number two in a business. And it's very rare that people give you this information, But Josh, let me ask you a question.
Please.
What did he say? Well, what percentage of people were going to go back, read through the book, and actually apply the principles that they find in the book?
I think, if I recall correctly, I think he said it was like 10% or less.
Actually, it's less than 1%.
Initially, I was thinking 1%, but I thought it was 10% or less. But I wanted to add too that the type of people that were at the events, I feel like was extremely unique because I felt like a lot of for starters, what was the first thing? How did we start off the whole event when we got there? What did he make every single person?
Well, the Pledge of Allegiance.
There you go.
Bro, we started with the Pledge of Allegiance. Some people got there a little late.
We stood up for the flag.
The beautiful thing was that it had two humongous flags, on either side. That was amazing. That was That was so
that was impactful.
Yeah,
that was impactful.
Now there was so many things that happened that was super cool at the.
But I feel like the general, more than the general, the majority of people there were patriotic, strong, proud to be an American, conservative, strong values, extremely hard workers, and promoting that entire lifestyle.
Did you guys see like the patriotic Canadian?
Oh yeah.
He was more American.
What did he say?
He said, "God bless America."
And let's vote for Donald Trump.
Vote for Donald Trump. It was,
and he's from Canada.
He was Canadian. And he started with, "I'm Canadian. Let's vote for Donald Trump. God bless America." I was like, whoa. I thought that was awesome. The energy in the room was crazy. Energy in the room was crazy. I think that that was awesome.
So the energy was unmatched in the room, right? It was amazing, but then at the same time, the longevity of that energy, because the day started at 8:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And they won. They won.
Realistically, it started like at 6 while we were all trying to get there.
Yeah. So, but it's from that time all the way up until 10, a little after 10 p.m.
And I do have to give you a shout out.
And the energy was still flowing.
I gotta give you a shout out.
Why?
So on the first day, right? I come in and I'm coming to the event. Traffic's crazy. I get a call from one of my running mates, right? One of my leaders, and he says, "Ray, don't come this way. Go this way." I wrap around. I cut the traffic, and then he goes, "Pull into this parking lot." I pull into the parking lot. Valet lets me in. I pull in.
Oh, they did let you in.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah. I think you got off the phone before I even heard.
Yeah. Valet let me in. I parked. Me and the kids were inside. People that were not letting me through were still on the back of the line. I waved at them.
Thumbs up.
I have no idea why it's got that feature, but it's funny. It's funny. I'm not gonna do thumbs up. So I'm not even gonna move my hands. But I waved to all the people that didn't let me come through, because when I wrapped around, I beat all of them in. And I was just walking with my kids because I took my son and my daughter, and we went right in, and the room was lit. Like the place was lit. The traffic was crazy. We started early. The energy from 8:30. Now you can continue on. The energy.
Oh, so the energy from 8:30, from the minute I walked in all the way up until 10 p.m. was consistent all the way through. There was no points where Pat was getting tired. Impressive.
If he was
the whole time.
If he was, we didn't notice.
We didn't notice it.
No.
Day 2 comes around. We walk in and it's the same energy.
No. Now, I do want to touch on this. Someone did ask Pat, how the hell do you stay energetic? Right? To show the transparency, what did he do? Do you guys remember what he did? He showed us what?
He drank some sweet tea.
He drank sweet tea, but what else? No, he drinks tea, but what else?
This is what he did.
He showed us his list of vitamins.
Yeah.
He showed us his list of vitamins. That's a thumb up, actually. Thumbs up. Whatever. Thumbs up. I don't know what. Okay, that's great. He showed us his list of vitamins. Talk about transparency, right? Because somebody asked him, "Hey, how do you stay energized? What do you drink? What do you do?" And he says, "Look, these are the vitamins I take daily." And then the list was short, like it was cut off, and he got them to resend the list. They put the list up. I mean, it was amazing, because to be able, you could tell they have a great team, because to be able to instantly add something to the event when the event is planned out and add those things and insert those things right away.
But don't you think that's already planned? Come
No, because that was a
No?
question. Think about it. It was a regular person. It was one of the CEOs
He
that
yelled
asked
it-
the question.
He yelled it to behind the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many times during the event he yelled at us, "Hey, can someone get me this?
Yeah.
Can someone get me
And
this?"
it's right on.
And his team gets it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Day three came around. I was dragging myself in there. I got a call. I got sick there. I don't know how he didn't get sick with the amount of people
Well,
that was talking to him.
my daughter got sick too. She also, but this is what happens, when when you're around so many people and you get exhausted. That's the thing, that he has that longevity that we need to figure out. What we need to do. Obviously, staying healthy and in shape, and they talked about that as well. Is what's going to give you that longevity to work and do the things
How
as
old
much
is
as
he?
they did.
He's what? 41?
47.
48.
47.
48.
He's younger than me. He's 47.
Mhm.
Wow.
He just turned
And
47.
he was able to stay on his feet the whole time.
And that's another
And
thing
Not
that was
even
impressive.
going to the bathroom.
But without even
Yeah.
going to the back.
Yeah,
I went like three times.
I tell you this. I tell you this. His top guys have a running joke about that Patrick doesn't have a bladder.
Yeah.
They're like, he doesn't have a bladder.
It's a 5-hour presentation. There's no bathroom breaks until lunch.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like
There is no bathroom breaks.
there's no bathroom breaks.
At
It's a
all.
lunch break.
It's a lunch break. You go to
What-
lunch.
So the first lunch break, what did he do?
Oh my God.
He
don't
says
even.
the lunch was supposed to be like an hour and 45 minutes, right?
Yeah.
He shortens it by like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We go to lunch. We come back.
What
He
happened?
goes up on stage, and this guy says, "Yeah, so when we were on lunch, I was talking to my guys, and I'm like, you've been talking here for 6 hours,
Yeah.
and you spent your lunch still presenting?
Program.
Like what?"
Yeah. Program and plan. But one thing that was also impressive is the amount of the way, the standard that he holds his people and us, because we're in his house for this weekend. Though the standard. So around lunch, close to lunchtime, people started to exit.
Oh
And
yeah, that was.
That was on one day. First day, right?
that was first day. Yeah, nobody did it after that.
Yeah,
But they were exiting, and they were exiting right before lunch, and he just goes off, and he says, "See, this is why I want to get rid of General and Platinum, because these people don't appreciate, and then and it's true. Like I to tell my story, right? I went 2 years ago, and I went there looking to see what my next move was, and we were focused on what's your next 5 moves. That was the theme for that year, and I had just come out with the book, and the ultimate plan, which is one of the plans that we have, started because of an idea that I got from the book, where it says, what are your holes, and what how do you plug your leaks and your holes, and create new sources of revenue. Where's your your $100,000, your $1,000,000, your $100 million mistakes. And if I go to my old book, which I gotta borrow it back from Joe LaRosa, Joe, you got my book, I want it back. But if I go to my old book, in my old book, it has that. It has those plugs in there. So, and this one, one of the things that I know that I'm going to be focusing on is making sure what's our next 5 moves here. That's and I'm going to use the book.
What would be your first one?
My first move.
Yes.
One of the moves that I think is going to be very tremendously beneficial, which will probably be pain. It'll hurt at the beginning. Is probably going to be.
Cut off.
It's going to be raising the standard.
Yeah.
Raising the standard within the office, because I think that most people realize or don't realize that I'm just one person, and I give too much of myself, and they don't give enough back. I don't think they give enough back, and I don't think they realize that. And trust me, listen, I don't blame them, because we built the company this way, and we built a company that lets people just take, and I feel like I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be the company that just takes. I want to be the company that actually gives enough value that you appreciate the people you're with, especially when you're the mentor. So that's my first move. My first move is raising the standard. Like you see me in the t-shirt. I actually just wore the t-shirt I love the t-shirt, by the way.
the tag's still on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I took it off. But the I took the t-shirt off, but I was wearing a suit and a tie, which is something we did a tremendous amount. That was something that was normal in this office, and we kind of stepped away from it, and we got to get back to it. We're professionals, and we all now starting to look like Alex. You know what I mean? Look at Alex with the suit; he's looking amazing.
That's
So
something else.
What about you? What's your next move?
My next
My
move,
first move.
my first move,
which
honestly,
is your next
is
move?
is going to be is study that book. Is
Yeah.
study the manual that he gave us. It was what 222 pages.
I have no idea.
Actually,
about
we,
that.
we were
No, it's
talking
like
about
300
that.
pages.
No,
Yeah, it looks
No,
like
it's
Right,
over.
right behind.
244.
244 pages.
Wow.
244.
244 pages of actionable things, right? Just different structures to implement into my business. So my first move is to study that book like the back of my hand. Like I know every other real estate contract, I'm gonna know that book. So that's my first move.
All right. What about you?
Well, right before we started the show, I was telling Neville that we need to sit down and, I even asked him, I will pay for your hours because, obviously I don't, my second language is English. And, and like I said to him, I'm not that smart, so I had to go slowly. And I really need to take time to learn that book, like, bottom to top and finish out and then implement it as we go.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that because
And learn and
there's so many amazing parts of the book. Like one of my favorite parts, and we were talking about it this morning. One of my favorite parts in the book is it's over in the mastering yourself. Obviously, knowing who you are is important.
If you tell me what the name of it is, I'll tell you what page it's on.
It's the code of honor.
Code of
Oh,
Honor.
yeah,
That
that
is
thing
on
is-
page 134.
135.
Why do I know that?
Because you've been studying the
Because-
book,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. You said 134, 135.
Oh, what?
Right here.
It's right here.
There it goes. So perfect. Code of honor, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give them let's give them a little snippet, right? Let's give them a little snippet. But we'll promise you, I'm gonna give you 1 through 5 today. And in the next episode we'll give you the rest. All right. Actually 1 through 6, because there's 12 of them, right? So the first one is, no matter what your position or job is, choose to lead. You don't have to be a CEO to be a leader. You don't have to be a CEO to be a leader.
Wow.
I thought that was freaking phenomenal. Many times we all think that we come here, we do our job, we go home, and unfortunately, when you build a company that way, you don't build leaders. You build pretty much followers and solopreneurs, and you don't really want to build a business on solopreneurs, because solopreneurs do nothing for you. They're solopreneurs for a reason. So you want to definitely step that game up.
Before you move on to the next one, I always want to use an example of when we're in this office, right, and we see a new agent and we see an agent working on something, we're always going to be inquisitive. What are you working on? What are you doing today? And they need help. You'll always notice the agents that stop what they're doing and they'll go ahead and, I do it this way. Maybe it'd be faster if you did it this way. It'd be easier if you do it this way. And those are the natural leaders within the office.
Yep.
They're those guys who's like they don't have time to help you. They're too busy.
yeah.
They're gonna walk away from you. They don't talk to you. They don't even say hi. Those are people you don't want to waste your time with.
Yeah, that's
Ignore
the people
them.
I don't want to work with.
You don't have to be the CEO to be the leader. It's all about who are you helping on your way up.
And here's the thing: when you have a leader that is not doing that, when you have a leader that is stopping to hear or talk or figure out a better, more efficient way to do something, if that CEO is doing it, then you need to do it. If you're under that CEO, just because lead by example, he's leading by example.
Oh yeah.
So it's important. All right, number 2, if you're a leader, choose to be a great leader. Mentor them, lead them, drive them. Do it with love and respect. Do it with love and respect. And this one really got me, right? Because on the way home, I was talking to a good friend of mine, and me and him got into a big argument because, he felt like I was disrespecting him, and it made me reflect on the fact that, hell yeah, I'm disrespecting him. I am very big on trying to figure out what everybody's love language is, and I don't know everybody's love language. I'm actually not really good. I think that's one of my weakest areas, because I try to give you love, then if that doesn't get synced through to you, then I give you hate, which is a really bad way to go. Or I just make you feel stupid, which I don't want. I don't want to go that route. But I'm trying to figure out which one is your love language. Do I edify you? Do I demonize you? What do I do? And until I figure it out with that person, I just continue to try all the ways. So anyway, so I told him, I said, look, we can be friends, or we can be colleagues, but just remember, I don't give advice to colleagues. I don't give personal advice to colleagues. And we hashed it out, but he understands that I love him and respect him, and the reason why I'm hard on him is because I want him to succeed, and to be successful, you got to eliminate some of the bad things in your life to make sure that they don't interfere with what takes you to success. Josh, you had something you want to say?
I wanted to go back actually to what my takeaway was, which actually just tags on the last thing you said about removing bad or negative things from your life. Because what I really took away from the ball is that my observation from PBD, from Vinny, from Tom, from all these guys, from all the elites there, I know even all the people sitting in the CEO section and everything, is I felt like they all seem to have one really strong, tight knit family and friend groups. Two, they all seem to be either strong Christian or have some kind of strong spirituality, so they're grounded and centered.
Yep.
They all seem pretty conservative. They all have strong values. They're all proud to be an American, but also their lifestyles really align with their goals and their mission statement and their vision for their life.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was just so crucial. Like there was just not one person that got up that I heard them say like, oh yeah, our family vision, my family vision is to build this legacy, build this empire. But meanwhile, every weekend I'm going out and getting trashed and partying and clubbing and doing God knows what else. Not one person did I hear say that. Not one.
Yeah.
So it just made me think like, or even PBD said that only once a month, he says he gets together with some guys and smoke cigars.
Yep.
Once a month.
Yep.
And to me, I thought I just was just like playing that back in my own brain, and look at how many people like approached the microphones and said they were struggling with X, Y, and Z bad habits, or they felt like that bad habit was negatively impacting their family, their business.
Look
their
at that
friends.
guy that was gonna stop drinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The guy that had the balls to get up and say that he was going to stop drinking until he could hit $1 million a year. But
And he was gonna get drunk.
Wait, PBD, yeah.
Then he was going to get drunk, and then PBD called him out on him and literally was shaking his head. No, this is not cool. This is not acceptable, because then you're just going to be a rich alcoholic.
Yeah.
Correct.
He's like, you need to just.
It's gonna be worse.
And then at the end, he finished with love, because he said, "All right, when you hit that goal, we'll drink the tequila."
But to me, like that, I don't know. For me, that I feel like that was just it was just so strong to see the lifestyle discipline among all these really elite people, that they don't want to do anything that's going to inhibit their family life or their work life.
Yeah. No, and I think that was important, and I'm glad that you brought that point up, because in reality, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have people around you that are going to hold you accountable. And if somebody's a drunk and he's in your life, he's not going to be able to hold you accountable because he's a drunk.
Yeah.
So, or a drug addict.
Yeah.
They're not going to imagine a drug addict telling you, wake up at 5 a.m, do your coke, and go into the office. That's not really a model citizen per se, for the lack of a better term, right? All right, let's continue with number 3. Good. All right, let's go. Camaraderie creates blind spots. Don't be afraid to challenge and debate your peers. Bad behaviors and small thinking needs to be called out. Be respectful, but challenge your peers. Vision above being liked. This one's really good for me, right? Like as a manager, as a leader, you're gonna, if you have hate, which I hated that, right? Because when you're a leader, you want everybody to like you. If you're somebody's boss or something like that. But sometimes you're gonna be the bad one, right? You're gonna be the person that has to make the tough decisions. Some people are not gonna like that, so they might not like you for making that tough decision. I could give you guys a story. So I tell Andres Hebra, who's a good friend of mine, like a brother to me. He's one of the owners, one of the other broker owners. I didn't like his wife very much when she became the president of La Rosa Realty.
Why?
I hated Elvie. Hated her as soon as she joined. The reason why I hated her was she had let go of some people within the company that I was really fond of, and they were awesome, to me. And what little did I know that they were the cause of kind of the downfall of what could have happened to the company. And but then one day I just started talking to her, and when I started talking to her, I started to notice she was just this amazing individual. She was a great operator, and she operated with respect and love. And then from that, I admire her as a leader. I admire her as a person, as a friend, and but yeah, but you know, she's not somebody that everybody liked when she joined the company, but it slowly liked. And mind you, she wasn't a person that just because I started to like her, she agreed with everything I said, or she agreed. Like I have a huge La Rosa decal in my office that she fought me on for months. She wouldn't let me have it. And I finally got my way. But that's because I'm a hell of a negotiator. But that's how it's got to be. What about for you? Anybody that you felt like, or even yourself, that you felt at one point you had to make a decision that was hard?
Um, it's a. I'm not gonna say it's a decision that was hard, but it's more or less like that camaraderie creates the blind spots where it's like we're friends, and it's almost you're scared to give me your honest opinion about maybe some of the actions or things that I say. And I said this to a friend of mine the other day, where it's like, hey, if someone asks you for feedback and you give them like a sugar coated version of the feedback, and you're scared to hurt their feelings or whatever, or disrespect them, that's worse than giving no feedback, because then you're not even giving them any space to grow. So and we do that a lot with people that we know, that we're close to, that we're friends, that we're families with, and those are the people that's like you should be able to call them on their shit the most.
Yeah, I agree.
And so that's kind of my
How
opinion.
about you, Alex?
I kind of lost you, man. So he texts me and
Tell him in Spanish. Tell him in Spanish.
Nah, he heard it in English. He
So-
understands.
no, say it one
So
more
my
time.
question to you is, and obviously you run multiple businesses, so you probably
Yeah, I
you're
get an
probably
issue.
you're probably the bad guy every time, right? Because you have to make decisions that are not friendly decisions. Like people do get upset with you.
You know what? To this point, I have learned. You know, I feel bad when I never had to fire anyone, right? But now I feel so good when I had to fire someone.
Why?
Why? Because if people don't respect me or I don't trust them,
They can't be part of your circle,
yes,
and they can't be part of your company.
yeah. Things
So
was that.
let me ask you a question: is that really firing them, or is that them firing themselves? Because if I lose trust in you because you stole something from me,
Oh no,
you
don't.
fired yourself.
Oh yeah, sure.
If you
You
talk
see
behind
yourself?
my back
You know what?
and you talk bad
that's
behind my
funny.
back,
You know, that's funny. I mean, you know, I was trying to work with this guy. You know, obviously I did not fire him at the time because I really needed him to, to fill out the spot. But as soon as I had someone else, he told me these words. You know, Alice, I don't feel comfortable. So wait, you want me to bring you a seat to make you feel comfortable? You
something like
don't.
that.
Yeah,
Want me to bring you a seat?
yeah. To make you feel comfortable. You
Like
know,
a
I'm not
boss, right?
comfortable. And you know what? I told him these words. You know what you're doing, right? Oh, what am I doing? I tell you, this. I give you so many opportunities. You stack me on the back. So you know what? You're done. Oh, no, Alice, you're confused. I told him, I'm not confused, buddy. You know, you're done.
Yeah, you had to make a tough decision.
Yeah, to be honest, I have so much relief.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, let's go to number four. Number four is amazing. This is one of my favorites. This is one of the ones that I started to think about very much at the Volt and on my drive back with the kids. Be obsessed with urgency and efficiency. Great leaders don't compromise either.
Yeah.
Be obsessed
Oh
with
yeah.
urgency and efficiency. Great leaders don't compromise either. Love this one. This one was
Oh
just good
yeah.
for me. You like that one? That was your favorite?
I was telling
One of your
Carla,
favorites?
you know, I feel like I'm about to die. I don't have no time.
Yeah.
Every time I come over here, I come over here with a purpose to learn. If I'm not learning, I'm leaving and do my own stuff.
You want me to give you guys a visual?
Okay.
All right. Visualize this, right? Visualize one day you're praying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you in your prayer you say, God, listen, I just want to know my timeline. I don't want to know anything else. Just give me my timeline. So one day, so you wake up and you go into the bathroom, and your calendar's on the wall. The amount of days you're gonna live is on the wall, and it goes like this, right along the wall, right along the wall. But you know, as soon as you cross out a day, that day's gone forever. And the closer you get to the bottom of that wall, you know that hey, tomorrow's my last day. If you know exactly how many days, how many years you're gonna live, I guarantee you, you would work harder every single day. because you know what's coming, right? Because we don't know, because it's the unknown, right?
Yeah.
You tend to like slack some
Relax.
days.
Just to
So
relax.
imagine that visual.
Oh yeah.
How would you take your life, Neville, if you had that visual in front of you? God
I
said,
mean,
you got so many days. Here you go. It's on the wall. Cross them out every single day. You're gonna lose one day. Every single day, a day will be gone off your wall. What are you gonna do?
every day is going to be a sprint. Every day you wake up as early as possible to do as much as possible in the amount of time that you have. You want to be as productive as humanly possible every single day. You don't want to waste a second of it. Every phone call that you make is going to be important. Every time you talk to a family member, it's going to be an important conversation.
Absolutely.
But also, I'm going to be moving through the day that much more grateful for the time that I do have left.
100%.
So yeah, I think honestly, if we knew what day we were all gonna die, that'd be a gift.
I don't.
That'd be a gift to everybody.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it'd be. It gives you the unknown, but at the same time, it does give you peace to know that, okay, do I have the time that I need to get done what I want to get done?
That's what I tell
That's
you.
my
I
biggest thing.
feel like I have no time. I mean,
No.
we were doing some stuff, and I told you, right? I said, what time is going to be the podcast? Oh, can we do at this time because I have a meeting at another
Yeah.
time. So that way, I
You
don't
gotta make
really,
it happen.
yeah.
So that's awesome. What about you, Josh?
Actually, just now when you were talking about that, I decided to type in my calculator. How many days within 42 years? And it's 15,330.
That's nothing.
Yeah, so like I was just thinking, if I only live another 42 years, 15,330 days really is not that. I don't think it's not really that much.
Ah.
Do you?
I don't think
Not
it's that
really,
much.
yeah.
15,000. That's nothing.
So yeah, I guess I feel like I'm even guilty of this. That I always feel like I'm going to live forever. That sometimes I definitely don't have, like, I'm not walking around like this guy feeling like I'm going to die every day.
Yeah, but imagine if you did have that mentality, because that mentality would make you work twice as hard.
Well, I
Three
mean, you
times
can
as hard.
you can work as hard as you want to, but the only drawback with that is that there's still something that no matter how fast you work and as much as you work, everything around you and the operational end of things still has process, and process slows everything the heck down.
And that's why it says everything in the process. Do you guys remember when he was talking about his bamboo system? How it would, when he first started creating the bamboo system, it would update twice a week.
Yeah. Now it's
By the time he was done, 300 and something thousand times a day.
Yeah.
So yes, you're absolutely right. The process can hold you back, but if you take the time out to look at the efficiency part of that process and say, what can we stop? What can we eliminate? What can we make faster? Because this is what I say, right? So let's say, for example, Josh is here with us. You can't see him on camera, but he's a lender, right?
That's all.
He's a lender extraordinaire.
Extravaganza.
He is amazing, probably the best lender you'll ever meet, because he can do it all. That is true to facts. But one thing that I would say is the typical loan, if done correctly, can take up to 7 days on a great file.
But you can get it cleared closed, but because of tree, it's going to be abandoned in 10 days.
Yeah, no, 100%. We understand. But what I'm saying is, for someone that works proactively and can get it done in 7 versus the same guy being approved by the lazy guy, it's going to take him 30.
Yeah.
And he'll probably have a pre-approval by the 23rd day. There was nothing in that process that's any different from either party. The only difference is how efficient the second guy was versus the first guy. He wasn't very efficient. He took 23 days to get the CTC, where the first guy got it in 7 days, even though he's closing in 10. So he anticipated doing the work. That's the part where I'm saying, no, we cannot control we can't control that trick guideline. We can't. But we can control the fact that once that got based on that guideline, I can get it done within 7 days and still close it on the 10th. To where, no, I'll decide to wait the whole 23 because I'm just gonna procrastinate and not care, and that's where I'm saying the efficiency part comes in. That's where it's important.
Absolutely. I mean, but also another X factor in that is too, because everyone knows I'm super fast, but like I can only go as fast as the borrower. So if I don't get a full loan package like right away, I'm delayed.
Once again, that's a process.
Yeah.
Once again, that's a process. How do we figure out a process where we can get this information quicker? Meet in person, tell them what to bring in, and have it all there.
Absolutely.
That's a process. All right, number five. QC is everything. For those of you who don't understand QC, that's quality control. QC is everything. Even if you're not the smartest person in the room. Okay? You want to take a crack at that?
But the quality control?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's your checks and balances. Cross your T's, dot your I's. You know, it's going to save you a lot of money in the long run if you don't have to go back and make corrections. It's going to save you a lot of time. Even not even thinking about the money, it's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of effort if you're able to get it right the first time. So I agree.
The next one was an eye opener for me. I don't know if it was for you guys, but I want to hear your take on this one. Have a reputation for being so reliable that things get done through you. The entire company sees you as part of the one club. You only need to be told once for a project to get it done.
It's funny. Number 6 reminds me of a friend my dad had. They used to call him one. Nah, they used to call him one order because you can only give that man one order at a time, but he'll get it done. But you only tell him to do one thing at a time.
That's a focus-driven individual.
It is, yeah. It's funny. I don't even know what his real name was. I should have called him one order.
Yo, one order. I need you to do this for me. Yeah. What about you, Alex? Who do you know that's part of the one club? You only tell them once and they take care of it.
Well, I think that's me. I mean, if you tell me what to do, I'll just go for it. I don't think about it.
No, it's not about going for it. I mean, if I say, hey, this is what you have to do, this is how you do it, right? Mm-hmm. I only have to tell you that once. You already know how to do it from that point forward. Part of the one club, right? That's the person that you tell them, you'll be like, a new system comes out, right? Mm-hmm. He's got to learn it. You teach it to him. Mm-hmm. That's it. You only told him to him once. He already figured it out after that.
Well, ¿me puedes ir en español? Como loco.
Spanish, please. Tell him in Spanish.
Don't worry, you don't even speak Spanish. And I need a lender who speaks Spanish.
Yeah, why don't you tell me? Yeah, absolutely, Josh. Come on. So basically, in Spanish, it means que tú eres una persona que cuando te dicen las cosas una vez, más que tienes que decírtelo una vez. Ya, de ahí tú arrancas, tú sabes hacer lo que vas a hacer. So yo te digo, mira, este sistema es nuevo, así es que se hacen las cosas. Well, yo te lo enseño y ya desde ese momento nunca más te lo tengo que enseñar.
Well, you have to do it, for me, you have to do it like 2 times or 3 times.
Okay, so
I'm a mechanic.
So you're not,
you know, I'm not, no, I'm not.
So, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'm a true member of the one club, but I am a true member. If you give me one thing to do and you tell me it's urgent, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yes.
I'm gonna get it done. I don't care what I have to do. When we set up that Thursday meeting, yeah. even when there was hiccups, we're gonna make it happen.
Oh yeah, and it did good.
It did amazing. It was great.
Yeah. No, I mean at the end of the day, you have to understand that you got to be able to roll with the punches, and being part of the one club is important because what happens is people start to depend on you. People be like, look, go to Josh, he can get it done. You know what I'm saying? Go to this person, he can get it done. Go to Neville, go to Andres, go to, whoever it is that that person, once you tell them, they'll get it done. And that's part of being one of the, that's part of being part of the one club.
So going back to that, right? I told the funny story with my dad's friend. He has a friend named One Order, right?
One Order.
Okay, it's funny that, you can only tell him to do one thing at a time, but he gets it done. But on the flip side, to identify that quality in somebody, that's powerful. When you know what, I can't tell this guy 5 things to do. I know I'm going to tell him one thing, and he's going to come back to me, and he's going to come back with that one thing done.
I think that goes back to the love language, though. I think knowing that person's love language, that's his focus.
Yeah.
Okay, Joshua, you want to come over here because I have a meeting at 4:30.
Where are you going?
Well, man, I'm a busy man. That's his schedule.
Let me small it myself. Let me get a little smaller on camera.
That's called a schedule.
It's called a schedule.
Yeah. Josh, are you going to fit?
Well, man.
In the middle of a podcast. You got the mic. Give him the mic. Josh, grab the mic.
This is leadership quality.
Yeah. I have a standard.
This is leadership qualities right here.
I have a process.
You call it audible, right?
You have a standard, and I have a process.
Amazing. You see this? Yeah. We got 2 people on the show.
And we two people on the show. What?
Like 2 people on the show, like during the show. Like
Just
like,
a swap.
Two guests. So now we have to put Alex
He
and
put his model face on for this. I
look
love
at
it.
this. Look at that.
I
What are you
love
talking
it.
about? What are you doing, model face? What is this
You saw
crap?
the face change, right?
He had a tie on before he came on the show. He took the tie off on button 2 button.
My
Josh
face
is
changed?
single. He is looking.
My face changed?
Yes,
yeah,
he did.
How did my face
It
change?
did change. It did
Oh
change.
my
Talk
God,
to people
look
here,
at
man.
this
It's just
camera.
the lights, man. It's the lights. Spotlights. You got
Yeah,
that stage
okay.
stuff going on.
So back to the book, man. One of the things too that I like was PWD's business principle. So one of the things that they did that was pretty cool is they went over to Jekyll Island, the same island that the Federal Reserve was started, and they actually stayed there and they created their declaration for the company, which is pretty cool. And a lot of the leaders, every leader minus one person was at this meeting and is still with the company, which is the greatest thing to know. Like, when you follow great leaders, leaders don't leave you, right? They stay with you, and so they have the I we never. So we're going to talk about the PBD business principles, which are really cool, right? Never compromise your non-negotiables, right? When you create a non-negotiable, you can't compromise that, right? So figure out early what your non-negotiables are. What are you willing to do? What are you not willing to do? And if you're not willing to do it, don't do it. And don't compromise it. Don't do it one time. No, don't even do it at all. Don't even do it at all. Secondly, number 2 is micromanage until there is trust. You notice that one doesn't even have a date stamp or a time. It doesn't say micromanage for 3 weeks. It doesn't say micromanage for 6 months. It says micromanage until there is trust. You want to be able to trust your leaders and trust your people. So you want to make sure that if you're micromanaging, you get to the point where you can trust them with what you need to trust them with, and then that's definitely going to make sure that you built a solid foundation in the relationship with that person. Number 3, what brought us here won't take us to the next level. That is a key principle. Every single time that you level up, so you understand, you're gonna go. When you go to the next level, you're at the bottom of the next level. There's people that are gonna be way above you in that level. So you have to make sure that whatever brings you to that level, you need to grow into the person that's gonna take that person to the next level above that level too, right? So you're not going there with the same attitude. You're going there differently.
There's
And I love that.
there's a quote that I love from the founder of Love's Travel Stops. His name's Tom Love. He's actually passed away, but he would say, and it was written on the wall at their company headquarters, that yesterday's trophies will not help you win tomorrow's victories.
Absolutely.
Love that. That's a good one. Yesterday's trophies will not help you win tomorrow's victories. All right. Next one is create positive peer pressure by challenging one another. Create positive peer pressure by challenging one another. Next is beat your prior best. Beat your prior best. Look at your best month and beat it. And then create that as a habit to beating the following month and the following month and the following month. And that will take you on a run. Treat the company's money like it's your own. Treat the company's money like it's your own. Go ahead and buy Lamborghinis and stuff with it because you think it's your money.
No, run
No,
it
I'm
like
just
you own
kidding.
it. Run it like you own it.
Run it like it's your company, correct, and use that money correctly. All right. Be radically open-minded, but not easily persuaded. That one is a really good one because that one can confuse the people that are not really thinking, right? Be radically open-minded, meaning I will listen to you, but I will not let you persuade me.
Wasn't there a side thing that PVD said too, right around that same line?
I don't remember.
Here, I wrote it down.
I think he was talking directly to you, Josh.
No, he said it in front of the crowd. When he said, pray like it's up to God, but work like it's up to you.
That's insane. How many times have I said this quote?
Yeah.
PVD said that.
I don't know. Yeah. Like I requoted it so many times because that's the
But I
number
think
one
he
thing
said
that
it right
stood out.
then, there.
Oh, it was at that point.
No,
in time?
no, it wasn't there. I wrote it down in the book when he said it. But
Oh.
it was around that area. It was around that area.
That was awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said,
I think we need to
pray
put
like
that
it's
it's like two
pray
pages
like it's
back.
up to God, but work like it's up to you.
Yeah. It's actually 2 pages back. I remember I wrote it down here. It's one of these green pages, but I can't find it.
So
Yeah,
it was close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was over there.
That's pretty, no, that was one of the best quotes I've heard in a long time. Love that quote. fight any temptation to lower expectations and standards. That is a huge one, right? So I this is one of the fights that I personally have with myself every single day, right? I don't want our standards to be lowered, but I'm also in a very volatile um, industry where you have a lot of kids that work in this industry, and when I talk about kids, I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about adult kids, kids that frown and cry
Naive.
and no, I think complainers more than anything. Complainers, um, they want everything at a drop of a hat, but don't want to put in the work. They want to do things that they don't mean, that aren't meaningful to what they are supposed to do to succeed. And
Instant
then when you,
gratification.
Yeah, they're all everybody's looking for that instant
I
gratification.
think instant gratifications just become a very very bad uh, omen at this point for businesses and people in general. Like um, that's because of the fact that we have so many things that give us instant gratification. Like, when was the last time you shopped and didn't go on the app first, right? Amazon's like the app that I
Hey
most
man, I still
visit.
go to Publix. I want to push my cart around and just put
I
things in
do
the
that
cart,
too.
man.
I do that too. I'm a big Publix
I want to
shopper.
hold that bag of rice in my hands before I put it in the cart.
I'm good too. I'm good with
Yeah,
that. I'm talking about. All right. So let me ask you this. Um, you need to buy a specific item. You know you can get it on Amazon by tomorrow. You jump on Amazon or you drive down.
Depends what it is.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Look, if it's a vitamin supplement that I know I can get at a vitamin shop and I want it, a lot of people don't know this, but you can go to the vitamin shop and they will Amazon price match.
Yeah.
So you can get it right then and there.
Oh,
So
awesome.
there's a few things with that comparison where it's like, yeah, if I know it's just easier to find on Amazon, I'm gonna do it. But then if it's something like, example is a dive shop, so I'm certified scuba diver. I know
Wait, you are?
that
Yeah.
So I know a lot of dive shops are mom
I
and
know
pop.
what you were going to say.
I ain't saying nothing. What?
Stop
I
it.
didn't,
What?
I didn't even give him a chance. So I just kept
I
talking.
didn't say anything. What?
But anyways, I know a lot of dive shops are mom and pop shops, so it's like their competition is Amazon, these big box stores, or they're going out of business. So I'll stop. I would sometimes I even pay a little bit more, but I would go to these local dive shops to go buy whatever I need instead of just buying.
I got a question for you. I do the same thing, but I know you know how I do it. So what is it that I always have to get the Audible and then also get the book? Why do I do that?
We have to support Barnes and Noble.
That's it.
Bookstores are the foundation of any civilization. Once bookstores and libraries go out of business,
that's it. We're done.
That's the decline right there. Because I
Yeah.
go out my way
I
and
thought
I'll
they're
go
already in
straight.
decline.
They are on decline, but when they're
but people
gone,
are going. It's starting to bounce back
go
up.
go to the library on like a Friday, bro. It's pretty packed.
It's pretty packed.
Like the downtown one,
Yeah.
it's pretty packed.
And not
But,
only that, the bookstores too. You can go to
bookstores are-
bookstores back in the day, you used to go in there and just read a book. You sit down, read a book, get a cup of coffee. They're starting to bring that back to the bookstore because a lot of people are going back into the bookstore to read.
So
Barnes and Noble is right down the street. It's amazing.
So something that you don't even know about, and this is a huge segue of what we're actually talking about. So first, I always go to Barnes and Noble to buy the book first, but there are actually book clubs in Central Florida, silent book clubs. You do not talk to each other. You show up. It's 50 people show up, and they read their individual books.
What
At
kind
the
of
end
energy is flowing through that room?
the energy is just concentration. At the end of this hour, hey, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. What's your name? All right, I'm out. That is the whole meetup.
That's crazy.
But it's to support libraries and book clubs, bookstores and book clubs.
What do we do here at La Rosa, Orlando?
We have a book club. We have a book of the month.
Yep, and it's important, man, because you saw Will Guidero, man. He tore it up.
Yeah.
He tore it up, and The Rock was amazing too. I think The Rock did a great job explaining. And one of the things that I liked that Rock said was when he said, whenever there's an issue, one, you talk about it. Number two, confront it.
Mm-hmm.
Confront it.
Yep.
Like I'll be honest with you. If I was Rock size, I could say something like that too. You know what I mean? Because he's a big dude.
La Roca.
But
He's just the same size as me, man. He's the same size as me.
Really?
Same height, baby.
Same height.
y'all don't look alike.
You know what? Damn, it's a great analogy, right? There's a pastor on YouTube. He called his best friend up, right? Pastor was out of shape, pretty heavy. Said his best friend was like real, like put together, ripped and in shape and everything. And he was like, so me and him go to the same gym.
I saw that.
But we don't look the same. It's the same. You could apply that same thing to books and business, where it's like you and Rock are the same size. y'all might have some of the same resources. Well, it's like the starting point, but it was all about how you applied those
Listen,
resources.
Those resources are
to
there.
get there.
The resources are there for both. If he wanted to get to Rock's physique, he can do it. He's at the size. It's does he want to do it, and is he willing to put in the work? That's what it takes. Because this is the thing, right? At the end of the day, I always look at it like this, right? No matter if somebody's all the way here or you're here, you have to think about this. The person that you're looking at, no matter where he is in the stature, he is still at the end of the day a person, a man, right? Just like you are. He has the same 24 hours in the day. Does he have maybe more resources than you? Absolutely, 100%. He's already got to a different level than you. So of course he's going to be at a different. He's going to have more resources than you have. But doesn't mean you stop. You go with the resources you have. You work your way up and you push it. And the faster you push, the more efficient you are, and the more urgency you have, you will get to that level eventually, right? But you gotta want it. That's the thing. People don't want the amount of work that it takes to get to that level, right? Is substantial. And if you don't want to put in the work, that's fine. Just don't put in the work. But you're not gonna get to that level. And here's another thing too that I loved what they said. So I had two men sitting in front of me. I had The Rock and I had Patrick Bet-David sitting in front of all of us, right? And one of them is worth 500 million. The other one's almost worth $1 billion. If he's not already at $1 billion. And they both said something that was astonishing to me. They said, we have never been hungrier. I have never been hungrier. Always stay hungry. So you're telling me these two people that are worth almost $1.5 billion are telling me they're still hungry. It's because to them, it's not about the money. It's about the purpose.
Because also they've already hit a certain level, but they're probably like, well, we still have a lot of life to live. They're probably like, we still have a lot of life to live. What are we going to do? We can't just be on vacation for 40 years,
Yeah.
Guys like that will get bored like that.
Oh yeah, they'll die.
Yeah, they'll get bored. Basically, retiring will kill them.
Yeah, 100%. I think they'll never retire. I don't ever see. I see them slowing down as they get older. Obviously, we're all going to slow down when we get older, but I don't see them ever retiring.
I like what PBD said about was it John D. Rockefeller?
Yeah.
When Rockefeller said that he was going to be the wealthiest person in the world, and that he was going to live until he was 100.
Correct.
And then he lived until he was 98.
Yeah.
And that was back in the day when they didn't have all the cancer treatment and all the medical stuff we had.
The average
life expectancy
was 55 years old.
And he lived until he was 97 or 98.
Yeah, 98.
PBD said that that would be the equivalent nowadays to live until you're 150.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. And we have people that are living 110, 115 years old.
Yeah.
So,
back then
you never know.
You get a splinter, bro. That might have been your last.
What was the other example he said? What was it? He said the former CEO of, was it MGM? He said he was still doing boardroom deals until he was 98 years old.
Yeah, 98 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, James Earl Jones just passed away.
Yeah, 93
years old.
Yeah.
Man, that was tough for me.
That was a big one.
Because,
Mufasa.
Yeah, that's James Earl Jones.
Man.
And they're about to do
Darth Vader, freaking.
I hear you.
Conan.
Listen, him and Stan Lee were two.
Coming to America.
That's what I was just thinking about in my head, Coming to America. King Jafar.
Got a limousine with a lion head on his chest.
Let's go with the last one. Last one is create an environment where your team is taken care of financially and professionally. Look at this. This one's very important for those CEOs out there, right? Do a needs analysis for your business and for your company and for your culture. Do a needs analysis, and based on that needs analysis, look at this. Create an environment where our team is taken care of financially and professionally. You have to do a needs analysis, and you have to make sure that those things are happening for your business and for your teams. If they're not, you need to restructure. You need to restructure fast, because you're going to lose great people because you're not doing the right things for them, right? If you have a team that's fighting for you, you got to figure out how to fight for them. You just got to. All right? So that's all I got for today. We don't want to give up too much of the book, guys.
Well, wait. Can we? Me and this guy need to comment on that last thing you just said.
No. I'm going to let you say it. I'm just saying we're not going to talk
He's
about
wrapping it up. And
We're
me and Neville are sitting here
yeah, well,
You're playing the outro music.
He was looking for the exit song.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just saying we're not going to get into the book anymore. But give me your take on that last point. I want to know what your take is on that.
Do you want me to do it first?
You can start first.
Well, I think that concept is 110% right. That you absolutely need to take care of your team. You need to have that alignment. I love what they actually said at the conference about. I don't know if you guys remember the specific slide where it said like either take care of your team or someone else will. And actually, I don't know if you guys remember the case study question that came right after that, and it talked about like possibly what the sales guy that was an asshole, the sales guy that was like but he brought in like 40% of the revenue, but he became an asshole and he got lazy.
And he didn't want to be a leader.
Yeah, and he didn't want to be he didn't want to be a manager.
He didn't want to be a manager, but the other ones did. And the number 2s did. But he wasn't even 20. He wasn't even half. He wasn't even 20%. Of the first salesperson.
And I feel like probably that should have been addressed way before it ever got to that point. But senior management didn't address it. What they probably should have done is they probably should have definitely had to sit down and talk to that guy and see what is going on with this guy, or what does he want? What does he really want? Because if he's gotten complacent, he's gotten lazy, and he doesn't want to be a manager, he's got to want something.
But think about it like this: even if he got complacent, lazy, and he doesn't want to be a manager, he's still bringing in 40% revenue.
Exactly.
So even at his lazy level,
he's still doing.
He's playing at 50% and still doing 40% revenue, which I thought that was an amazing case study because it lets you know, like, you got to go back and analyze your guys and see who's doing what for you.
Oh, but there was another scenario case study where it talked about the AI thing and if you should lay off your marketing. You know what I actually said? The guy that was in my group had an AI marketing company, and he asked me what I would do, and I said, you know what I would do? I would try and find a way where I can incorporate my current marketing team with the new AI technology. Because if the new can bring in an extra 20, 30% of revenue and I'm already got 70%, if I bring both together, I should be able to do even more. And also, I don't want to just get rid. I heard so many people around the room, they're like, oh, we'll just get rid of the marketing people. We'll just get rid of the humans. No. And I'm like, no, that's stupid. You know why that's stupid? Because all these people you have, for one, I value people, number one. In any organization I have, I value my people. Two, those people that I've had a relationship with and everything that have brought my business up to here, no one's looking like 3 or 4 or 5 moves down the road. What happens if I fire these people and it increases my bottom line? Yes, let's say I save $500,000 on my bottom line. What happens now with those people? Let's say I'm here, I have competitor A, competitor B, and competitor C here. These guys are looking for a job. What happens when competitor C, who's way down here, or who I'm not even thinking about, goes and hires all those people I just fired? And now they take everything they learned here and they implement it over here. Yeah. And 6 months down the road, I now have another huge competitor.
I agree with you. And this is what we said in our group. In our group, what we said was you don't fire them, you reallocate, right? So I would take half the staff and I would put half the staff to control the AI information because they were proofreading. I would get them to proofread and obviously make sure that those articles are published completely. Because if you look at AI, it's good, but it's not perfect. Number two, I would take the remaining staff, the ones that do want to go, and transport them into sales. Why? Because if I have the people, think about it like this. Nothing is better than having a knowledgeable salesperson. Who better to sell the product than the guy that created the product?
Absolutely.
So if we can turn them into salespeople, they're not really salespeople. They are now just people that are giving out information and turning it into a sale. Now that creates more revenue for the company because he's going out and getting me 20, 30, 40, 50% more business.
Getting new doors.
It's getting us more, which means that now I would say, okay, well, I need to hire one more person to go and proofread because we have all this business that they're bringing. And the 4 guys that we have isn't enough because I think it was 7 guys total, right? Yeah, it was
17
guys.
Yeah,
17 guys.
Yeah.
So we would put, if it was 17 guys, you would put 13 of them on the sales force, and only put 10 on the sales force and put 7 into proofreading. And then you're gonna have to hire more proofreaders because if you have 10 in your sales force, that 10 is gonna, if they generate 1 extra customer a month, that's 10 new customers that you're dealing with.
So, and also, that AI has to learn from somebody, right?
And not only does it have to learn from somebody, but it has to also be proofread before the product goes out. Mm-hmm. So even at the end of the day, so you're right. The human element is very important, but that's the breakdown that we did in our study. What about yours? By the way, case study was amazing, guys.
Yeah, no, we did a case study, but going back to like that specific topic where it's like you can't say I have a strong team if your team is not strong. If your team is struggling in any aspect of their world, you don't really have a strong team. And I always think back on, and I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, right? It is a song, and I know you know this line, right?
Big Pimpin'?
Where he says, this is why we don't have this guy on the show.
Yeah.
This is where he says, where if every member of your clique is rich, your clique is rugged, nobody will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches. And was everybody on his team rich? Did they all have their high points? They did.
Yep.
And they all had the freedom to go wherever they wanted to go, where
And
they
not only
wanted
that,
to take it. But that's what we work for.
He
right?
gave them freedom, but one of the things that he said too is he prepared them for the storm. There was one time when 50 Cent was about to release his album, and he told all
50
of them,
cents?
yeah, 50 Cent.
You said cents.
I meant cent. All right.
I didn't know if that was like his cousin or something.
Yeah,
or-
it was two of them. All right,
Okay.
they were twin brothers. All right. So 50 Cent was about to come out, and he told his whole team, whatever you're gonna put it out now, because he's releasing in the summer. You're done after that. So he prepared his team for it, and a lot of albums went out that became really good albums prior to 50 Cent
A lot of
coming
people
out.
got lazy and didn't put nothing out. Thought they had time and they didn't.
They didn't. Benny Siegel was one of those.
Benny Siegel was supposed to be a legend, and he wasn't.
That's the difference between somebody that's a doer and somebody that's not, and that's what happens. I mean, Josh, what about you? Going to say something?
No, I was gonna say don't discredit Beanie Siegel. Now he was a legend. He's still a legend, but he was a doer. The problem was he was doing the wrong things. He went to jail.
Yeah, but
he
he
went to prison
still.
after that. That's all.
I totally understand, but he didn't have the work ethic, not the work ethic that Jay-Z had.
Not in that.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. What were you going to ask me?
Well, what I was going to ask you was, in regards to when we went over the AI study, and you talked to your group inside your group, what did you notice was your biggest takeaway from being in the group and doing the case studies? Because that was amazing to me.
Well, like for all the different ones?
Yeah. Because there was one case study that was crazy. When that lady came up, I don't even want to talk about it.
Dog, I don't know how we got there, but
we got there because we had the case study.
Yeah, I love the fact that everybody, it was just like they were thinking about it from angles that I wouldn't even imagine. I love that part of it.
I was going to say I felt like it was like a think tank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because one thing I loved about the vault just in general, and actually I was telling your wife.
Just so you know, Josh, the camera's over here.
Okay, I was telling your wife earlier. I'm not even in the.
No, you can look at it, but move over.
I don't know. You scared of me?
Yeah, I'm scared. You're sick. You didn't even want to shake hands with me this whole week.
No, go ahead. So,
anyways,
so you were telling my wife.
Yeah, that I loved that there was just such a diverse group of people, but everyone was like really smart. So just in a way of just even being in that environment, I felt like it was like iron sharpening iron.
I agree.
Like even just having 6,000 people of diverse backgrounds, they're all really smart, all talking and working on complex issues, in a way helps your own your own brain and way of looking at things level up just in that small time frame.
I agree with you. That was crazy. Like you're in there and you're like, man, that was a great angle. I can't believe that. Wow, you said that. Wow, how did you come up with that? Oh man, that's pretty cool. Like it was. Your brain is energized. Like I'll tell you this. Did you feel okay? It was 10 o'clock. We closed day. We went back to do. They gave us homework.
The homework.
So we went back to go do the homework. I don't want to give it away because anybody who hasn't been there, I want them to experience for the first time. So I don't want to give it all away. But we went back to do the homework. When we went back to do the homework, my kids were energized. Like they didn't want to sleep, and these were kids. These is 18-year-old, 20-year-old, and they're like, Dad, we got to do the homework. I'm like, let's do it, and that was amazing.
Dude, I had friends of mine that I talked to that night. They were like, just go to bed, and I was like, and in my brain I was like, this is what separates the 1% from everybody else.
People from the actual event.
No, like people I was talking to on the phone, friends of mine.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You got the people that are gonna, and that's one of the things. Your inner circle, you have to look at it because they have to align their principles, their standards. They have to align with you.
No, and to be honest with you, like I think I took a shower. I went and got a bite to eat in the hotel lobby, and then I went upstairs and literally I just opened up my book. I was like, man, I feel like I'm back in college right now. Dude. And I just sat there and I sat there for like an hour and I just went at it.
What did I tell you guys the whole time? Before we even got there, I said, guys, this is not a motivating event. We're gonna go to work for 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh, but I felt 3 days. Even once I finished the homework, I was so energized.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to sleep.
My kids didn't, And this is the thing. Let me tell you, I gotta commend RJ because we went to bed around 1:00 and we woke up at 4:30 to go to the gym to work out with Elliot's guys. Shout out to Esteban, one of Elliot's army guys. He said, "Hey, we're going to the gym at like 5," and I said, "All right, we'll meet you there." Boom, and we were there.
Yeah, dude. Like every morning I woke up energized. Even like I thought I was gonna be dog tired, and I woke up and I was just like ready to go.
Awesome.
Like some mornings I did go to the gym. There was a couple mornings where I just got up, put my suit on, and was out the door.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, we went to the gym. The only day that we didn't hit the gym was Friday. And the reason we didn't hit the gym Friday was because I'm sorry, Saturday. Because it didn't open till 10. And
Yeah.
we hit. I mean 8:00. The last one it opened like around 5.
I think we started at like 7:30 on Saturday, right? We started at 8:30.
Yeah, we started at 8:30.
8:30.
Yeah,
but
by the
it
time you
went
get
no
there-
break till 2:30. No break, remember?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
8:30
we went
to
all the way to
2:30.
2:30. And that's when it ended. Did you so lastly, did you like when it ended, did you like, man, I want more?
Yes.
Yeah, I could have went another
Absolutely.
day.
I could have went
No, absolutely. No, actually I was thinking that.
I was sad when the event ended. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
man.
Actually, and I don't even know if you guys realize this, but actually, like, I had to look on the map to see how close we were to the beach because I just really wanted to go see a South Florida beach before I left. So, like, I literally drove from the hotel. It was literally like less than 10 minutes away.
Yeah, it's right away.
I went to the beach.
Close
I
to go over.
parked right on the beach and I just sat outside, like, in front of the water for like 15 minutes.
That's insane because I wanted to go to the beach so bad, and we didn't. We had a whole extra day.
Oh, and
Yeah,
I was,
yeah,
I didn't change.
I
I was like
didn't
total.
stay.
I was dressed just like
You
this.
didn't stay?
I didn't stay. No, we were still energized. So we were in the hotel room and we talked for a while about the event, and then it was probably 12 a.m. and I just looked. We were looking at each other and we were like, "You want to go home?"
At 12 a.m.?
It's 12 a.m., bro.
Yeah, I
We-
checked
You
out.
went home at 12 a.m.
Yes. So we just started packing our stuff into the car like
on Saturday night,
super leisurely, no rush.
on
at
Friday
all, bro.
night or Saturday.
The last night.
On Friday.
Saturday night.
It was Saturday.
Oh, so you
Saturday
stayed. You were planning on staying until Sunday,
until Sunday, yeah.
and then you just decided to leave.
Yeah, because we
Why?
were just like, let's go home. Like,
Why?
what are we staying for? We went home and we were still talking about the event the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole ride home.
Actually,
Listen, I told my guys when
I had just so much energy afterwards.
I told my guys when we were gonna go to this thing, I said I've been telling them for like a year. I'm like, guys, we're going to the vote. We're going to the vote. I don't care what ticket you get. We're going to the vote. And I was telling them, and I said, and I didn't I kind of expected because I know my guys really well, but I didn't expect to see the motivation in their faces like I see it, and I know that my guys are getting ready to blow it up. And I know, like in a year from now, everybody's going to go to the vote. Some of them are going to have CEO tickets. Some of them are going to have executive tickets. And they're going to be there telling stories about how they went from 100,000 to a million, 200,000 to 2 million, stuff like that.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to be at, was it Mar-Lago?
No, Mar-Lago's SLS.
Yeah.
No, but he said that next year.
No, it's going to be Tampa.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, I'm going to make it my mission to be able to get a CEO ticket for next year.
You got to, man. You got to. I mean,
And just to be honest with you, because I heard a lot of people over there in general saying all sorts of stuff, but in my own brain, just thinking about like sitting up there, being that close, being in the engagement of everything, but also the intrinsic value that you can gain from speaking to everyone there, learning from everyone around you that's also at that level or higher, that's where the real value is. Yeah. And I was like, a $15,000 ticket to be immersed in that for 3 or 4 days. I think that's
not only
really
that, you build a community
priceless.
with those people.
Exactly.
Because I'll tell you this. So I wanted to get it
because even that guy you introduced me to, like
Which
me and that was his name Wes? Not Wes.
When did I introduce you to him?
On the first night we were there, Wednesday night.
And where were we when I introduced him?
In the networking hall. Dean.
Okay,
Dean,
so
Dean Mason.
Dean Mason is actually a good friend of mine. His brother is John Mason, who is one of the PHP leaders.
Yeah, so I mean, Dean, I talked to him that one night with his wife, and then there was another night I talked to him, and then we exchanged numbers. But I was just like, man, I could just tell when I met him and his wife.
Oh, you're doing his brother's loan. That's the one that I told you, $6 million.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was in CEO.
I didn't get to meet his brother.
Okay, well, you'll get to meet him. He was in CEO.
But just talking to him and his wife, I could tell right out the gate. So I was like, these people are different. These people are just different.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Well, they've been with Patrick for 10 years, 14 years.
Yeah, he was telling me that.
Yeah, he's been with Patrick for 14
years. And then
years.
it was so funny because then I was talking about him and his wife were really into like the house music scene in New York City back in the day.
Well, he was a DJ.
And then I called out a name of a very famous like house dance club in New York, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we know about that."
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you guys used to go to Sound Factory, and they were like, yeah,
Yeah, they were part of that scene.
Yeah.
So for a long time, he's got a famous song too. He's got a song that did well in that space. But yeah, that's the kind of people that you meet in those rooms, and not only that, keep in mind that CEO ticket's not just to be in that room in that section, but the other things that you do. You have a 3-hour mastermind with PBD.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it comes with a 3-hour mastermind with PBD.
The meals,
and they had the after party,
after party
Flagler.
things.
Yeah.
I would have loved to gone to that Flagler Mansion thing. I would have
Yeah.
loved to gone to that.
Yeah.
But even all the lunches and everything else, all the other seclusion things, all the other exclusive things. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's worth it. I think the people that you meet is phenomenal. And
at first, I was like, oh, no, that's $15,000. That's crazy. But now that I went there and even just sat in general, I'm like, it's worth every dime.
Yeah. And the people that you hear in general that were saying probably all the trash that they were saying, if anybody was
people around you saying trash.
Yeah, and
Really?
yeah.
You know what was actually what I really heard the most. I don't know if I should say it because I don't want to discredit it, but because I don't agree with it at all. But what I actually heard what I heard a lot of people in general saying, they were like looking at like what was it, executive, platinum, and CEO and founder. CEO. They were like, oh, what are we on the Titanic? What is this like class wage class distinction shit? Like what are we low class here? Yeah. And I was just like,
so those are perpetual victims.
Correct.
I just was like dude,
that's why they didn't get the mic.
Dude, there was a guy that I was sitting next to that I sat my stuff down and he sat down next to me and started saying that. I kid you not. I got up, I grabbed my stuff, and I walked away. Dude. So
the thing that I would say to those people is just understand I started in general. And
look at how many people in CEO said that. They were like, hey, Pat, please don't get rid of general because I started in general 2 years ago.
And not only that, they said, I started in general, I'm in CEO, and those are my guys back there. Those are my guys.
Mm-hmm. So who's the one that was in CEO that had the most attendees with him?
Oh, that was
the Elliott guy.
Where did he start?
He started at what I mean,
he was in general.
The guy with the shaved head?
He was in when he started his first year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was in general with me.
He was in general.
We had breakfast together.
And he was in CEO.
But you know what's the most incredible story? Well, one of the most incredible stories was the Venezuelan guy.
Yes.
The guy that said he lost his entire life 9 years ago and came here and then started from scratch.
But he's in CEO.
Yeah.
He's in CEO.
Yeah.
So, it's about not having a victim mentality and pushing forward. And for people that listen to us, they know that that's who we are. We don't have a victim mentality here. We push forward. No matter what happens to us, we step up. And that's the difference between a person that belongs at the vault and a person that doesn't. If you're not going there to gain value and build your legacy, and build the legacy you could be proud of, don't go to the vault. It's not for you. It's not for you.
I don't know about other people there. I mean, maybe I felt it a little bit more because I went there, basically I stayed in a hotel different from you guys and I don't have a significant other. But like something that PBD said the first day that really stuck out to me is when he absolutely called people out. He's like, listen, you're here to grow. You're here to build. You're here to excel. You're here to have vision. You're here to have breakthrough. He's like, I sure hope no one came here to go get wasted and party and try and hook up and do anything stupid. And I know that there were people that did that.
So what you did, you started scratching that off the list, right?
I dialed it in some more. No, but I saw how many people showed up.
Page in his notebook.
Shut up. There were so many people. There were so many people that showed up late, like an hour late. There were so many people I saw that showed up at like 9:30 and 10. I'm like, where the hell were these people? And you could tell.
He was calling people out.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you tell your dad? Can you tell your dad to just show up on time? Like,
no, but there were like people you could tell they went out. They looked like they were hungover.
I'll tell you what was so impressive to me. That was impressive to me was the kid in the front asking questions like he was like 40 years old.
Yeah.
I was like, what did he just ask?
I know.
My daughter looked at me. Mariana looked at me and was like, that kid is so smart.
He was like 12 years old, right?
Yeah, 12 years old.
That kid in the front made me realize that what kids are learning in school right now is not 100% applicable to what we learned in school. Oh, wow. Because with one of the case studies, a gentleman stood up and said, I actually ran this through ChatGPT, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And everybody was like, damn, that was smart. The kid did the same thing, and it was instinctive to him to do that.
Yeah.
Bro, he understands children now. They understand their resources.
He ran the AI case study to ChatGPT.
They understand their resources and they understand where and when to apply their resources as well.
Yeah.
It's like kids are growing up in a whole
I'll tell you
different
this, if that kid follows in the same trajectory and he keeps going, he's gonna be someone
way further than his dad. Way further.
Yeah, he's gonna be. It's someone we're gonna be talking about. He could be a president someday.
Yep. Gotta
You know?
gotta learn his name.
Yeah, absolutely. Cody.
Cody.
Yep.
Shout out Cody.
Shout out to Cody. So, man, I'm telling you, we could stay on here for hours.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
we have other chapters to cover in the book, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So absolutely, keep in tune. We'll definitely talk about other chapters. If you're part of the real estate community, if you're part of the real estate industry, and you want to work with some leaders that are really going to push you to be the best version of you, definitely give us a call at La Rosa Realty Orlando. You can call myself. You can call Neville. You can call Alex. You can even call Josh. He'll get you in touch with us, right? But you're looking for a kick-ass lender. Obviously, Josh is there for you. If you're looking to figure out how to take your real estate career to the next level, give me a call. All right. So my number will be down at the bottom. So it will be Neville's, Alex, and Josh's. Yeah.
Before we head out, actually, I've been thinking about this the whole time we've been on here. Is that I think I want to offer a mastermind for the vault for anyone who attended the vault or maybe didn't have the opportunity to attend. If you want to mastermind with us, again, reach out to us, text us mastermind, and we're gonna put something together, and we'll
invite them. Yeah, we'll bring over.
Let's go ahead.
We're already doing it. We had 26 of our guys there, so it wasn't just me and Neville. It wasn't just Alex. We had 26 of our guys there. We weren't the biggest. Obviously, Andy had 117 guys there, which is awesome. We actually had a mastermind with him on Monday, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I got in connection with him by just meeting one of his guys at the hotel we stayed at, and we connected. I just